So one of the questions we asked was, is food or education more important? And we're going to hit that very shortly.
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward together with the Decker team.
And so I just wanted our listeners to know that we've created free access to over 403 episodes of the Inside Track on our YouTube channel. And they can go there and register. And then you can learn about your house, making it a home, building wealth, simply whole living. You get exactly what you need when you need it from where you are, whether that's your home, your office, or on the go. So to me, do we add food first? Because children are starving. Mm-hmm. They're literally dying. Some of the children that Yetta went, or one of the children that Yetta went and held
actually
and supported,
died a few months.
Actually died shortly after she left. Mm-hmm. And that's heart-wrenching. That,
yeah.
And I think you even said one of the children, when you asked what their goal was, our children, if we ask what their goal is, it's they want to be a fireman or a policeman, or they want to be an astronaut or an airplane pilot or a doctor or a nurse or something. And one of your children, what did they say?
If I get to grow up, growing up is not an assurance.
That was their goal.
That was their goal.
Was to live to become an adult.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that's heart-wrenching. And so you've put together a plan, really.
Yes.
And you were saying earlier that how do you transform a village, not just, yes, in the next 25 minutes we need food, right? Or in the next day we need food. But what do we need that we transform this village and ultimately a country over time for the 25 years? What's it look like in 25 years? So tell us a little bit about what happened and what Yogo's like now.
Well, we run the projects for this community called Yogo Glory Center Academy under Christ Glory Center Ministry. Food or school or education. Just as I said, Ken, food is needed in the now, because the now there is a need. The now there is a child that didn't have supper yesterday, and if he misses the next 2 days, probably his health will have deteriorated beyond. The now, if we just provide food now, will not sort, it will just create dependency. So we have created a strategy.
So just giving food may help now, but creates a dependency in the future.
Yes, because then they don't know how to get out. And as the Chinese, I don't know who spoke this, but say better give them, teach them how to fish than giving them fish. But sometimes I think fish is necessary for now as you teach them how to fish. So we have created a plan with our projects. And we looked at the community and said, there is a generation that, yes, we can give food because they have grown. The generation of my mother, who are 60 years and above, you can't take them back to class 1 to start learning and hope that they will be a teacher. It will be a waste of resources. But there's a generation of those young children, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, that if you put into the process of education, then in 20 years to come, they will be a doctor, they will be an engineer, they will be a mason, they will be an electrician. And when they become professionals, they will be able to impact their families, their children, and by God's grace, touching their hearts, help others. And their children will not be hopeless as they were. And so if they become a doctor, they can educate their children to become an engineer. And so the poverty cycle and the situation and the hopelessness in the village and in the communities will be broken. Our idea is to be able to create a transformational change that is sustainable. Number 2 is that when you create this change, you are transforming a nation. The whole nation learns how to live by themselves in their own ways. And so this is our focus. So we are focusing into a 25-year plan for the first series of the first group. And not only that, if you help them, they will be able to help back the community. Yes.
Right. So you started with a very primary age group. What age group did you start with?
We took the age groups of between 3 and 7 years. That was 2008 November, which the school officially began in January of 2009. And that age group has now reached grade 8. Our first grade 8 candidates did their exams last year. The second one just did their exams this October, November.
So every year you added a year to the school.
Every year we added a year to the school.
We had to build more building, hire more teachers.
Yes.
And the farm that the original group started, it creates vegetables and produce for the children and also to sell.
And this is our model, that when we take your child into the program, the guardian or the parent or whoever is with this child offers to work a few hours 1 week in one day in a week. So if you take to be working on Mondays, you work on Mondays. It is around 4 or 5 hours as your contribution. The food from the farm comes into feeding
So you go and work on the farm?
Yes.
Weeding or tilling or seeding or harvesting, whatever is
needed to be done.
Okay.
And this helps us in two ways. One, it creates community ownership of the project. Because again, if there is no community ownership of the project, it will just be some wazungus that Silas met in Canada are pouring money or releasing a lot of money, and it is their thing.
And wazungos is a white person?
Is a white person.
Okay, all right.
or it will just be Silas is giving some help there, go get it for free. But when they work on it, because change comes by working. Change does not just form. And unless our people understand that every good thing is worked for, then we don't get a sustainable change. And so it has worked greatly. And I tell you, education as a great focus is that education is an equalizer. When you are educated, you become equal to the whole world. And just as I said, as a microbiologist, I can work in Kenya, I can work in Canada, I can work in Europe. And that is by the privilege that somebody allowed me to be able to go through education.
Right.
Yeah.
So really a gift to the ministry, whether it's a one-time gift to the academy, or they decide to sponsor a child, that has long-term effects, even a one-time gift.
Hugely. One-time gift, or you decide to plug in and commit and make a commitment to sponsor a child for $40 a month is a long-term, the effect of it, I can't tell you.
So $40 a month will put a child through
primary education.
Primary education.
Yes.
And so if they wanted to do that, how would they go about supporting that?
Those who want to support our children or our school can go to www.hungryforlife.org.
Okay.
And they can make their donations as long as they designate it to Christ Glory Center Ministry or Yogo. Then that will 100% of what you donate, and that is the great thing with working with Hungry for Life, is transferred on the ground. And when it comes to us, 100% goes to the project.
Okay, so that's hungryforlife.org.
Yes.
And contribute to Christ Glory Center School.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, well, if you're feeling that nudge, then I encourage you to follow through on that nudge.
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward together with the Decker team.